And a fine good morning to you today, mine fans. Ross here, your favorite one-legged miner, coming to you semi-live from Tecopa Mines out here in the beautiful Mojave Desert. And today, we're going to stay on the surface for a little bit, and we're going to look at some of the new equipment that came out here that we're going to be adding to the museum collection. Some will go underground. One piece in particular might run topside here. We'll figure that out as we assess it a little more. But we got some really good stuff over the weekend, and I want to show you what we got here. So the first new item we came to us here is an Ingersoll Rand rock drill of the old drifter type. You can still see it says Ingersoll Rand on there. And it's actually mounted on a complete drifter carriage, which is frickin' awesome. Now we still need the side post to mount these on underground. I will put these back where they belong. But I've got the upright pillars. What I don't have is the horizontal post that these carriages mount on. Otherwise, I could mount about 3 of these right now. So if you know anybody who has one of the horizontal arms that a drifter mounts on, please put me in touch with them or send them my way. The museum will get a lot cooler. But yeah, she's an old one. Look at that. Nice, heavy. Much bigger and heavier than the rock drills that we normally have on display. It leaves a jackleg in the dust. And coming over here, we've actually got 2 of those. They both kind of came to us as something extras. This one's a little rougher. She's been out in the weather a little longer. But once I get on her with the wire wheel and get some of that scale and corrosion off, she might just clean up to be an interesting little piece of drilling herself. I'm going to guess she's another Ingersoll Rand, but I can't make anything out on her yet. But, you know, in my short time out here, I fixed up worse ones, so we'll get her going. Now, happy to have those. Coming back over this way, we've got a wonderful slusher scraper made by the card company here. This big monster was just kind of tossed in as an added bonus with the acquisition. But really happy to get it because I wanted one of these. A lot of the mining done in War Eagle and Columbia towards the end was big stope mining where they had slushers running, and they would have used these back up in there on a drag line, and they're all gone. Now I can actually put one back in there for folks to see in its native habitat as soon as I can find some big Charles Atlas types to help me move this damn thing back in there, because it weighs about 400 pounds and it's not going to go easy, but it'll be worth it. Coming over this way, past the Fordson tractor and the Ingersoll Rand compressor, and tripping over the drifter drill, are these 3 beauties right here. Look at those, would you? 1, 2, 3. The sisters, or Larry, Curly, and Mo, depending on my mood for the day. Side dump ore cars, complete, functional, fully operational, ready to go back into the mine. They pivot, they tilt, they dump, they do all kinds of wonderful things, except make coffee. Set up for 18 gauge tracks, so these are going to go back into the War Eagle mine. There's Tim over here doing Tim stuff, showing us how the dump works. Balance so nice, one person can do it. These are quite similar to the ones we have up on the 500 level of the Noonday mine, or the War Eagle, I'm sorry. I've got 2 of these up in War Eagle on the 500 level that the wheels and axles have been stolen off them. But I've got some new wheels that I've ordered, and I'm going to use these as a pattern to make some new axles, and we're going to get those up there rolling too. So these are going to be not only display pieces in their own right, probably in the lower War Eagle where people can get to them, but they're going to be a base for the rehab of the ones that are sitting up there in War Eagle's 500 level. So these guys are a win all the way around. And of course, our pièce de résistance, something that I've wanted to get for as long as I've been out here, something which I've tried for half a dozen times and always lost out on just due to location, price, etc. We have, let's get it where the sun's not behind it, shadowing it out here. You recognize this wonderful piece of machinery? Yes, the holy grail of underground hard rock mining is an IMCO 12B Mucker. Yes, happy to have this IMCO 12B in here. So we're going to be putting this guy to work in the mines. Either back up here as a demo piece with actual compressed air running to it, or a static display back in the mine. We haven't decided yet. We've got to check it all out and see what she does. But so far, my initial assessment on this beautiful piece of machinery is that it is complete. It's probably operational, or it can be made operational with not too much effort. And I would love to get a compressor up here to run this thing and get some track for it, and so it can go back and forth. And people can come up here and see how these things work, because they're really a fantastic piece of machinery in their day. The IMCO 12B here was first introduced in 1938, and she sits on the track, moves forward, that bucket drops down, goes into the rock that was blasted down, the muck pile, scoops it up, and throws it over the back of itself into the ore cart sitting on the track right behind it. So it was great for small confined spaces. It could handle about 2 tons of rock a minute, powered by compressed air, 250 cubic feet per minute. Got a little 5-cylinder pneumatic motor back in here. It's still in there. And I think we can make this guy work. I think we can make this guy run. And if I can get a decent compressor up here and lay a track bed for it, we will run this thing for people to come out here and see. And happy to be able to preserve this wonderful piece of American mining history right here. These things were one of the penultimate rock movers in the mines back in the 30s, 40s, 50s. Heck, they're still in use today. These things are all over the world right now. In fact, one of the reasons that makes them so hard to get is that even though these things are ancient, they get scooped up by companies like Savona up in Canada and a few others and exported all over the world. They're still in use in Central and South America, South Africa, Northern Canada. Any place there's small mines, these machines, some of which are 60, 70 years old, are still in use and hard at work underground moving rock. So every time one of these things comes up available in any kind of shape at all, usually the repair companies and the exporters snatch them up and off they go. So I got this one. I'm pleased to have it. And this machinery used to belong to an old miner up in Nevada. I want to give a shout out to, actually, his last state of residence was California. He lived in Dorado, California, but did most of his work in Mina, Nevada. This was a miner named Red Sipe, S-I-P-E. Mr. Sipe was a longtime professional contract miner, and this equipment came from his estate, courtesy of his daughter. And we are happy to have it out here right now. And we want to preserve this both as a legacy to underground mining and Mr. Sipe in particular, because miners like Red Sipe are a vanishing breed. And as we get more information, we're probably going to do a little display and memorial out here with him too, just mentioning him and telling his story, because people like Red are the history of American mining just as much as companies like Anaconda and TCM were. So we want to tell these stories. That's why we have the museum here. And we want to preserve this history, both big company and small miner alike. And we want to tell the stories. So come on out, take a look at this equipment. Eventually we're going to have these guys back underground, out of the weather for all time again. And we're still looking to see what we're going to do with the mucker over there. The scraper is going to go back under town, and the drills, as soon as I get them pieced back together, we'll get them all placed. It's a work in progress here. Fortunately, it's a labor of love. These things don't move easy, but it's fun. So come on out. And also, if you get a chance, I got to tell you, folks, I try not to ask for the money too much, says the guy on YouTube. But this acquisition came up kind of suddenly. Wasn't cheap. So I've got a GoFundMe. It's going right now. If you look on GoFundMe for Tecopa Mines, you'll see these things here. A way to support us, what we're doing in general here. So I will put the link in the comments below the video today, and I'll put them up in my bio. And if you feel like throwing me a few dimes to help with the transportation, acquisition, and restoration of these machines, you know, please feel free. No pressure, but I'll love you a long time if you do. So that said, get back out of the weather here. Over here, I'd use the restroom, but apparently there's a line. Got our outhouse here still in use, but of course, you know, Merritt is in line for the restroom, it looks like, which means Cleo's probably in there. So, guess I'll go back in my trailer. That said, we will see y'all later. Thanks for coming out here to the Tecopa Mines and for the support and the attention. If you like what I'm doing, tell your friends. If you don't like what I'm doing, tell your enemies. Just tell somebody, share the link, spread the community, and bring awareness to what we're doing out here. So, thanks. Have a great day.